So in for repair today we have our John Deere 8430, we also have a John Deere 6910, we have a generator out of the work trailer with a bit of a starter issue, and we catch up with Sean, Mick, David and Marco as to go about their daily duties. Right Sean, you're back in for the day, are you?
Back in for the day, right.
A wet day here, thanks, huh? You see them all coming back in.
Yeah.
Well, how's Tralee getting on? How's it treating you?
Learning loads, so everyone's getting on together so as well.
So you're what, week 3 now?
Week 3 now, so 7 weeks left.
And much of a differ from Waterford?
Oh yeah.
Big step up.
Big time, yeah.
You have to make your own decisions now, Sean.
That's
Is that it?
Yeah, step up. That's what it is.
So what are you studying and how does your day, what do you?
Up at 9 and you go into the class and see the electrics and then you farm machinery and hydraulics. You're going in depth and stuff now, so
Right.
It's a lot more interesting now, so it is. So.
Okay, so you're enjoying it, that's the main thing?
Yeah.
Good stuff. And a good crew of lads?
Good crew of lads,
And probably no nightlife, is there, Sean?
Huh?
No nightlife?
Oh, geez, no.
Oh, no, not
All study.
All studying, yeah. Anyway, so you're in here just here for the day, you have a day off, so just going in here to serve us. We have a 6, 9, 10, a few bits to go through, but we'll catch up again as we go through your day. All right?
Yep.
Well, Kaylem, we've seen a bit of a new kit here, have we?
Yeah, so we have...
Just, we have a charge, it's a ring trade charge digital.
Yeah.
Battery charger and booster as well, I think, on it.
Yeah, so we can either do a trickle charge, a normal charge, or a 60 amp boost. Although I think it shows that it'll do 540 amps for starting. Yeah, 540.
Well, if you didn't leave the key on the ignition last night, Kaylem, the tractor would have started. Isn't that right?
It was starting up these last few days.
Lucky I was after buying this yesterday, so I kind of had...
So we really put it to the test.
Put it to the test.
Stone flat now.
Right, charging the tractor now. Just a few tips on what to look for, what to do and what not to do. Now, on the 6910s, which is, you know...
Yeah, so it'll be very basic in regards to ECUs. There is one for draft control, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, and definitely on modern machines, it's not a great idea jump starting or doing like high boost starts, which is basically just big amps. Because surges some voltage would do harm to ECUs. And we have seen it. It's not the case that it will.
Well, you've seen it on the fast track, haven't you?
Yeah, we've seen it with a few different things in fast track. It does like not actually doing harm to ECUs, but with literally set up menus and stuff like that, with changing stuff. So it's laptop job then to go back, shoot, to
tick the boxes, isn't that it?
Literally.
Tick the box, yeah.
Could be as random, but yeah, definitely more modern machinery anyway. It's not worth.
So we have this one on charge now.
Yeah, so she's charging at 13.5 volts at, well, it's 20 amps, but I don't know how to get volt. You can either get voltage or actually just. Okay, so it's up at 70%. Now, obviously, this being a smart charger, it knows if it's a lead acid battery, AGM, or gel battery.
Yeah.
We can change it between 12 or 24 easily without having to swap the leads over.
Yeah, which on our last one we had to swap it, and that can cause some confusion when.
Because what happens, I hope that this, anyway, every time you turn it on, it switches to 12 volts automatically. Because if some lad was charging at 24 volts, and then the next lad could jump in and it not look, and he could be starting up at 24 volts just by accident. So hopefully now that's...
The smart chargers are probably more common now, aren't they?
Yeah, seem to be. I like just simple ones you can crank them up or not, and amp gauges more or less on them.
Yeah, well this one here now, they had a bit of a special on it, I think around the 250 plus the VAT, which is not a bad price for
yeah, especially
what it is like.
If it'll stand the test of time.
And there is a booster on as well, that's stuff which we won't. We might bring up the...
We can do it there for a second. So let's say that. Well, that's actually a fast charge.
Okay.
It must actually recognise when you go to start, because I don't have an option on it to put on a booster. I would assume that because I'm, say, having on fast charge at 60 amps, so it's 14.5 volts, which is roughly around what the alternator will be doing when the engine's running. But it must recognise once I go to start.
There is no boost function on it there when you look at it. So this must be the...
So it must actually be once say when you crank it over, your voltage could drop to say 10 volts.
Yeah.
And it's going to compensate and crank up the amps, which will also bring up the voltage. So I'd say it must literally be a smart one like that. Because often, say like with the blue one or a lot of battery chargers that you would have, you have to switch it on to start. You'd have to turn it off pretty much straight away.
Straight away,
the leads and everything.
Want to try it?
So Yeah, I think so. We're straight there now.
We'll see now how good it is.
This wasn't even turned on the key now.
That battery was completely flat this morning when we got into it. You left the key on. There you go.
Very good.
First tipping away.
Brilliant.
That's fairly impressive.
We'll not complain of that. That's a great job.
That was a good job, isn't it?
That's fantastic.
Huh?
That's fantastic.
Like that battery was completely, there wasn't 2 minutes ago there was nothing in that really. You were lifting after putting that on, charged you up there for what, all of 2 minutes behind our boost.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Definitely want to practice that now.
Right, okay, well should we, I still get plenty of use and plenty of testing anyway.
Yeah, seems to be
Because there's that many batteries over there.
There's a lot
There's a lot every day. I don't know what the situation is with batteries these days, but they don't seem to last.
No, like you see a lot of machines with the battery.
Don't know half a second there because I can't hear myself talk here.
But yeah, we've seen a lot of the newer machines having to change batteries in and them still not even out of warranty, like,
Yeah.
which is not what you want. They're not getting any cheaper now.
No, that's what we're saying. Like the battery nowadays, you're €200 for a standard enough battery. So, and then with connections and in other ways, some of them have connections with the poles in the middle of them and opposite poles. They actually are more expensive.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we'll look at this. We'll see how we go. We have a few bits to do with it during the day, and hopefully now it'll be a good little buy.
Yeah, it seems to be. I'm impressed with it so far, I suppose.
No, that's very good. That was very good, wasn't it?
So, like that was only after getting a minute or two of charging. Like,
Yeah. Now, in fairness, the John Deere's don't be an easy start, hasn't it?
Yeah, so once the battery's up at all, you get it going. Like. So, he has everything going for it in that regard.
Good stuff.
Of course.
Huh?
Of course. He had 213 side by side.
Off camera, Mick actually got the wrong socket, so you had to go. It's not his Mick, but it's Friday, and you're allowed that.
Yeah.
Now, what have you got here? We have, this is the generator out of the work trailer.
Yeah, we had it out there a month ago, was it?
Yeah.
About that. And I tried to start her a few times afterwards. I thought connections or that might have been the problem, but obviously you still had a problem.
Yeah.
But this is in there, and there's a big cover here, which is on the back of this.
Yeah.
And to get down through there, it's impossible. So it's just quick to take it out. And it's not bad. The nose is only out now.
It nearly looks fresh enough start, isn't it?
does. I don't think we ever changed that, did we?
I don't know, did we? I think we did.
Did we?
And this, we have one there, have we? We have a new one for it.
We got it now.
I'm sure it's the right one now, before we go to the bother.
But I think that's the same engine as the
It's a,
power wash.
Is it a Yanmar?
Yes. It's on
Right.
top of there, isn't it?
I don't know. In fairness to it, it's a quiet running engine. Well, it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Once
not,
the exhaust was done.
It's not quiet when the cover's off it. So, I picked one up anyway. Hopefully now it hits the right one we have for it. Looks the same anyway. Now, it will work if you tap it here, so it could be the solenoid.
If it's that, it can be the solenoid connections, or it can be the brushes. The rattle can just give enough on the brushes to give it a contact, and then while you're holding the key in the start position.
Yeah, we have to hold it and tap it at the same time.
Yeah. No, it could be there. Could be there. Could be, brushes. Could be brushes.
What's up with you? What's up with you? Huh?
He wants to go on camera.
Yeah, on the camera this week, yeah. We'll round
Looks the
everyone
same,
there.
but the only way you'd be sure is take it out, count
Right.
the teeth, and
We'll let you have.
everything seems okay. I have a meter on. I want to make sure it's charging. We'll have comfort to get at it. You can hear a lift pump there for the fuel. Lovely. What I'm checking there is that it's charging and not overcharging. The shafts tend to go on the higher side, up very near 15. I don't know, is that a Yanmar or a Japanese copy or Chinese copy? It's the same anyway. Nice engine. Happy days. Now put all the covers back on and get it back in there.
So a few running repairs here, Kaylem, as you go along.
Yeah.
Kind of waiting for the weather to decide what it's going to do. Is it?
It's hard to know.
It's hard to know, yeah. It's hard to know. One minute you could say, yeah, we'll go ahead. Next minute then drops the rain. One job that we had to tidy up here on the 8430, the one that we bought, is aircon. John B had a ploughing and he was giving out there. He was sweating.
Yeah, no, he's in his boxer shorts and I'm fairly sure.
And that's a fair sight, isn't it?
That's not. Yeah. They give any man a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, not that bad, no. But yeah, no, he's fairly toasty in it anyways. So when we brought this tractor in, I had to take off an aircon pipe somewhere for something, I can't even remember.
Yeah.
And discovered there was no gas in it. So we had the receiver dryer out the front of it. Was actually,
yeah, which we'll see here on the front of it, completely corroded, I think, isn't it?
I don't have it with me, but it had corroded to the point where I was just looking at it and I managed to put my finger through it. Like, it's very metal in it, so it's a nice bit of corrosion to do it, alright. Our clamps left back at the workshop, but we didn't just hold up a cable ties for today. Yeah. But yeah, so I changed that and leak testing. So I have an O-ring and a valve that I'm just after changing on it as well. So we have our two ports for filling.
So these receiver dryers, something that probably should be serviced very regular.
It is a serviceable item to be done. I don't know the exact time frame, but it's in a matter of 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So pretty much any time you're regassing it like that, it's something that should be changed. They're not mental money. They're usually easy to change. They're not put in really awkward spaces like that. You couldn't get an easier place to change a filter.
Yeah.
And look, it's something that should be done just like your diesel filters, but every time you're doing.
But do you have to take the gas? The gas will leak, obviously, will it? How do you change it?
Yeah, so you do it while regassing. It's not something that you could. If you don't have the equipment, you can't just suddenly take on to do it.
You have no valves here, left or right.
No. See, there's no such thing as that. So it's just if you were doing work on it, you'd have to change it because there is little say balls that are inside in it, and if it breaks up, it'd actually put the whole lot through the system and block up everything.
Block all the lines up.
Destroy your compressor and everything. So it's worth keeping on top of. But so just leak testing it now. So I have my
so you have all your gear here. Everything is mobile. He has his.
Yeah, pretty much. So now I am just. This is my gauge. So I open myself up, and I'm just going to put it up to have a 2 bar pressure. So I have a red needle that I can hold it where it is. Now it'll always end up compressing, especially in the dryer filter. So what'll happen is I could set it to say 2 bar and close my valve, but it'll drop back. But the whole point in it is that if you were to do it, especially with the regulator, actually, I can leave this tap open and have it set at a consistent 2 bar and just hold it for a couple of minutes and then close the tap. But while it's doing this is when I'm going around with my snapper. So earlier on, just here, I had an O-ring.
And you changed that.
That was leaking, so I just have to change that. Yeah. And it's not detecting on it. This valve was leaking on it, so actually I want to check it. So it has its pressure, so at these taps I can close the tap. Yeah. There'll be a small bit of leakage, so this will detect. So it'll beep once it detects. So what's in this bottle is 95% nitrogen and 5% hydrogen. And the sniffer will detect the hydrogen.
That's how it does it.
So like there's leaks that this would find that you wouldn't even see bubbles coming out of.
Yeah.
It'll pick up on stuff that's that small. Now it's kind of outside isn't a perfect place to do it, but see like there now I'm not detecting that now. I know if I was in a nice workshop with next to no wind, it actually detected there for a minute or so. So
you're in the outside workshop here at the minute, aren't you?
Pretty much, but look, this is the joys of it, and everything's mobile, so I'm able to move it around, which is the best thing about it. So I more or less just need to keep this set at around 2 bar. I go and find my leaks. So the leak testing is definitely very important because like that, I got the leak in the dryer filter was very obvious.
Yeah.
But if I had just changed that and gassed it, it'd be working fine today, it could be working fine for a month.
But sure, that's probably a lot of the problem is lads will gas up, put in gas, I think it's grand, won't last, probably might last a season, and then you turn around and burn the gas. And gas is getting expensive now to do all this gas.
That's it exactly. Like some people might give out about the price of doing this, but it's cheaper than doing it a second time. Like definitely, it's way, it's way less of a cost.
It makes more sense.
It's more efficient. One, you get to look at every machine once, and as long as you've no leak and it'll hold its pressure, then there's nothing more you can do, and you're happy enough with that, and
Yeah.
you can work with it. Like, so I can more or less go around every fitting that I have on this, and the valves themselves are very prone to leaking, so I'm just after changing my high pressure one there. So I go around the front now I'm just after changing my filter. So, and this, and to do it, air conditioner fit new O-rings on as I go along, because I've found every time I've reused an O-ring, I've ended up having to take it back apart and check it again, so I'm not detecting anything in that. Now, the lines are more or less looking for anything that's...
On the crimps do give a little bit of problem too, don't they?
Yeah, so every joint that's on it, especially where, say, like pipes can be wrapped around stuff, like see the way it's slightly chafed there?
Yeah.
Like, you'd be looking at all that sort of stuff. I know on these tractors, actually up at the very front here, this pipe is actually, I don't know what it is. See the way it's actually chafed off. It has a bit nicked out of it already. Now, it's not leaking. I don't want to move it too much, because all of a sudden we could have a leak. But
Yeah, that can be changed.
yeah.
It was changed, is it?
No, I don't
No?
think so. No, it's an original pipe, but I've nothing on that there now anyways, so pretty much the only main concern. Then to check inside in the cab is also important too. So, oh, well, it's not locked. I just need a bit more strength.
So where will you generally check on the...
The easiest way generally, well, with all my windows and everything closed, is actually through the vents. Because if I have a leak, the air or the fan will actually blow it, and this is, like, how sensitive this is, it'll pick up on the hydrogen fairly sharp. Now, I know they're actually down the back is where we're mounted. See. We're not too easy to get down in here, but so you have my cab filters in here, just to more or less go around everywhere inside in the cab. Like, if I don't detect anything with this, I'm not of any concern of any leaks anyway. My pressure can drop slightly because it is going to compress, but once it doesn't drop down to pretty much zero, then I'm okay. So, I was already after checking all this stuff only earlier, before I had found my leak on the O-ring that was sitting on the top of the compressor. So now, like, I can sign off on that with that we've no gas leaks on it at all. Once my pressure still stayed okay. So we're still about 1.5 bar. It's pretty common on everything to see it drop down that far. Like, if I wanted now, the easiest thing to do is to set it and go way off, do something else.
I can come back and have a look.
Yeah.
You have loads of other bits to do there, don't
There's
you?
plenty to do here.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of back and forth to this job all morning with just different leaks and whatnot. So
Yeah, working there on the Destoner. Some of the lads are working away on the fingers there on the back of the Destoner.
yeah, so it's going to be tough going here on the lay ground.
Yeah.
So we're going to take out 2 or 3 of the fingers on the back and get a bit more clearance for roots and all the fibres and everything. It's just
Yeah, well, you get a lot of big build up on the fingers themselves. You know, even clay will just build up because it's fresh. Like, so we're probably going to take out 3 out of it and spread them across. So therefore, any big boulders, we'll still can catch them. But more importantly, at least the cloud can get down and we can get onto the elevator and out.
yeah.
Probably we'll look at maybe opening up the stars, the spacings on them a little bit as well. So set the 3D stoners the same.
Yeah, because I know, like, when you get into, you'd done it before, I can't remember where it was, we were doing Lager and it wasn't above in Kilbride. I more or less had to drive the desoners to the point that you're nearly keeping the back star clean all the time.
Yeah.
Because that your stars were doing nearly all the work.
Yeah.
Because, like, in this sort of conditions, you can't be using the web for separating, really. Because when you are, everything's ending up on top of the fingers.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's not good. Whereas the stars do a brilliant job of breaking everything up, especially the fibres and that. So probably just a different driving style. You're not going to be.
Yeah, well, sure, every field is, you have to adapt, don't you?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Connor will really get a lovely taste of it.
Yeah, Connor will be kind of, it's all right for the more experienced lads. They can generally handle it, but when you're probably starting off maybe year 2 or 3, maybe in the Destoner and you hit conditions like this, it can be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, it's definitely. Torture is the easy way of putting it.
Look,
Plenty of-
I went through it all. I went through it all. So you'll see here, I think Peter's over at the job. He's taking out the. So we can see what's in the box there, although this one hasn't been out, but you generally will get a lot of roots. And
Yeah.
so we're just going to take maybe the outside one, 2 outside ones, and spread the other ones across them. That you do. Now, they're not that handy change. He's in there underneath it. It's.
Yeah, there's quite an awkward enough spot, like, but it needs must, like, just to try and get it
but
done.
a simpler system that you could maybe, a clamp or something like that, you could release it and slide it along the rail.
Yeah, definitely be handy.
would
That sort of thing that I didn't really adjusted that often,
Oh,
so that's
no,
why.
no. But not the general thing, like when you have to adjust them, no one just hops up and puts the hand up so they don't.
No, I'd rather not.
So that's really what we're at this morning here, just kind of rounding up a few bits. And
Trying to get ready for
any
the
other jobs now on, have we?
next boss. Swapped that A430 over
Yeah,
from, just swapped the 2.
yeah.
Having bothers with the stub shafts.
Stub shaft and that one, yeah. We have a clip, threw the clip out of the PTO there, so we're just going to swap the tractors over. Anyway, no harm just to see what this one is like. Now we had it out on Saturday there, probably its first run, and so
Yeah.
I think he was happy enough, except that he was just a little bit hot on the
It
cab.
was toasted, so.
Yeah, so we get that sorted, and then there'll be another problem with you.
Yeah. I don't think the aircon's hectic in the other one anyway either, so
No,
I may look at that too.
Well, it's not overly warm here this morning now.
No, you wouldn't need it.
You just wouldn't need it. It's a hat you'd want.
Indeed, but.
Right.
When we fly down the
Just
videos,
check that the fly is up.
I just put the body warmer down in front of it, never know.
You ready to go, Kaylem?
I am.
You're fully dressed, are you?
I am.
You can check the fly there.
There we
Generally,
go.
the fly
We're
just be
good
hanging.
now.
He's not hanging low. Okay, we have our 6, 9, 10. Now, it was in the workshop there for quite a while, and we probably didn't get back to it.
Yeah.
We fixed.
The oil
Oh,
cooler.
we died cooler, wasn't it?
So it was kind of a bad sequence of events. The radiator was leaking first, so we were taking that out, and before we went much further, the back of the timing cover was spewing oil. So then when the radiator was out, I put on the timing cover gasket. But to do that, I have to take the bolts out of the oil cooler. And when I put the bolts back in, I got too mixed up and put in a slightly longer bolt, and I ended up warping the oil cooler. I didn't it. So what we done was, because I had warped it slightly out of shape, and it was, say it's a flat face that goes down onto it with 2 O-rings, and I had warped it in the middle. You got it skimmed flat, and it seems to be sealing there now. And just need to clear out all the.
But all the
engine
oil would have went through the system.
Yeah,
that's
so
what you're
it drained the engine oil completely the first time. The engine oil pressure light come on, and then through the basics, and I didn't remember draining the oil, so it was kind of what the heck, and filled it up and then drained it again. And we were running this tractor with pressure gauge on it and whatnot, kind of puzzled as to what was happening, and then engine oil started spewing out of the radiator. It was after it fell in the cooling
So
system.
the longer stud had penetrated in,
It warped it, and
warped
it
it, and let the oil mix in with the coolant.
Yeah, it mixed it because the engine oil pressure is a lot higher than there's mainly no water pressure.
Right, so what are we doing here now today?
I am trying to clean
Flush
out
out?
the engine oil. So last night I just had the pipe in and I had my heater hose off it. So it had put engine oil through the heater up inside in the cab, and I had the outlet pipe off. So they had cleaned all that out last night. And now today I'm doing the engine side of it. So I took out the 2 thermostats so that I can get water flowing through the block with it cold. And it's actually leaking slightly on the side because the gasket was broke off it.
Yeah.
But it suits me perfect here now. Because I have a small leak, say, in the middle of it, and I have water going in through the top, my engine oil is actually floating to the top of the expansion tank.
So that's really
So
perfect.
it's
Yeah, out of it.
perfect, yeah. So it's actually spewing out of the top. Now obviously I drained it first.
There's no chemical, there's
I-
nothing else anyone uses, is there? Maybe if they have, throw them in the comments, but generally the
think it's like
carriages of that
kerosene.
will all foam up. And
Yeah, but something that wouldn't foam up now isn't too bad. Like I have put degreaser through it.
Yeah.
So when we had first noticed the problem, I drained all the engine oil out and I put a small bit of degreaser through it, and that was more or less going to keep it soft. So other than that, if it started to dry up inside the radiator and whatnot, we'd have a job trying to get it out and permanently keep going black. But it's clear enough now already, just where it's leaking out here at the side. See, when I had first started, we were looking at pretty much jet black engine oil leaking out. And every time I stopped draining it, is when more engine oil starts coming out. So it's like, yeah. But it's getting better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that flushing away at that, leaking my engine oil out the top where it's separating, because the oil will always sit on top of the wall.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
just walk it like that, pretty much. But
That's what can happen, isn't it?
yeah,
A simple thing.
exactly. A little bit of a learning curve.
A learning curve,
But at
yeah.
first, I'd get stung with that. So let
I
ask
know,
the
I
question.
know. I heard that, yeah. Okay, we'll let her flush away anyway, sure she'll be good to go there in a while.
Yeah.
So David, finally getting this gearbox and motor back together.
Yep.
We'd an issue there with a gear that was stripped inside in it. And I think we have the,
You have it there, yeah.
now it's a, what's the helical gear, is it?
Helical gears, right, yeah. So, yeah, the problem was it's just trying to find it. Even though we had numbers on it, I was trying to get it.
Yeah.
Trying to get them made. So it worked out all right now. It feels okay. I'm just literally only after meshing it together there now, but I'm going to make sure it's the two gears. So you have a bigger gear at the bottom on the end of this shaft.
Yeah.
So you have two parallel bearings here, oil seal. This would be an oil-filled gearbox here. And then this is your speed control in behind it. So speed control behind it then works on two discs, right? They're about 8-inch diameter. Two discs. There's a clutch in here as well. It's a sprung-loaded clutch, so it'll allow that wheel to break away from it. And the basic principle of it is, so this wheel is stationary,
Yeah.
right? And this one on the outside moves up and down. And as it moves closer to the center, it speeds up. To the center, it slows down, should I say, and it pulls up to the outside. No, the outside it'll slow down. Center it'll speed up, and that's it. And it's very simple, but that's what gives you speed control without having to put an inverter on it.
Yeah,
You just
so,
wind
yeah.
it up and down, and that's it.
So it's kind of old
quite
school,
simple.
really, isn't it?
It
Well,
is
we
old
find
school,
we still have a
but
lot of these on site, like we
I
have a
think
lot
it's
of these.
for them on site, like,
Yeah.
and they're not normally an issue. With this one, like I said, as you can see with that gear, Andrew, the center of it, it just once it started tuning it kept going. So we put a new one of them in, and that's it. It's a very small gear, considering the size of the gearbox.
Yeah, when you see the
And
size,
the
it's a
size
big
of the
lump
unit.
of a unit.
Yeah, it's not big. Now the other ones are a lot bigger. Why they're so small in this one? I think it's an Ord, is it?
Yeah, it's generally an odd one. Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
can,
it's quite
it can be
small.
hard to get parts of them too.
Hard to get parts.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. The Nord
not so
gearbox
easy.
are a little bit of a nightmare when it comes to something like that.
Yeah.
Now we could have replaced it with maybe more and gearbox with an inverter, but it's
Well,
costly, like, you know, really to do anything like that when.
as well as that, they're in a wet room. So the other thing is, without inverters or anything like that, this is the simplest way of, and it is like the lads, without having to know how to work an inverter, just go over and turn the handle.
Yeah,
And
true.
it's very simple for the operators then as well, you know. So trying to keep it all simple.
You put new seals and bearings to see here in
So new
Honeywell.
bearings in it, yeah.
Well, that one was completely.
Yeah, that's could have been one of the reasons. It could have been a ball sticking in the cage,
Yeah.
and it could have stripped the gears, you know. So could have been as simple as that.
Yeah, the other bearing too is.
Yeah,
It's
he's,
very.
he's
it's
not
very.
as bad, but he's
rough, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
he's
can feel
rough,
about
yeah.
it there. And it's not a lot
So
of.
as I say, when we do these, we normally go ahead and put in new bearings and seals and all that into it. Just keeps them right for going forward, you know.
Okay.
So
Right. Well,
that's
sure.
basically it.
We'll know shortly, won't we?
We'll know shortly. Yeah, exactly.
So, Marco, you're in a spot about here, are we?
Oh,
Huh?
like all the time this belt.
I see you have your buddy with you here as well.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
it's good to help her.
He's a good helper, is he?
Oh yeah,
Huh? He'd lick
just
it.
not talk too much, you know.
Yeah. He's observing what's going on. You're an issue here with a belt to see you. It's all over
Yeah.
one side here.
Yeah, Patrick come to workshop. He say all belt moved in on one side, so I go bearings. Okay, just gonna see take pressure off now.
Yeah.
Push belt back. Check bearings. This side bearing good. Oh, I
This side
on
we
this
can't
side.
see it yet.
Yeah.
So you'll have to get the pressure off it.
Yeah.
It's just important to set these up, isn't it? And you'll have to run them for
Yeah.
probably an hour and maybe come back to and look after another hour to make
Yeah.
sure that they're straight.
Yeah, to make sure. You see, it's very long and it's not so easy to get in line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's possible.
It's an everyday job here, anyway, especially with belts now on the grader. We've lots of belts, lots going on here. Just need to get the duck belt here, falls down to this and goes into the skip. Not too much this year, so we're not
No, this year is not, but very good.
compared to last year. This year, last year, now, there was a lot of stuff, wasn't there? We'd be flat out here.
Yeah,
Same thing.
one guy was only changing skip. Yeah, last year was.
There's no self-aligning on them. That is kind of, there is a curve on it, isn't there? On the roller itself.
No,
Is there?
no.
Is there not on this one?
No, nothing on this. Corvin is on this box filler.
Yeah, and that's just to keep it centre, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a good job.
Oh yeah, on this, yeah, it's good job.
With this one, we just have a flat conveyor, and we might have a little bit of wear on the conveyor too. But look, it's just one of those jobs. It's working in dusty conditions along with that. So if ever a bird will go, it'll go down here. But you'd be unfortunate that it will go.
Oh my goodness. Okay, try to push. Okay.
Now we can get to move the.
Yeah, this to move. It's a problem now. No, it's moving.
It's moving.
No, bearing looks good.
Okay.
One sec. My fingers. Yeah, not in best condition belt as well.
It's just see when the belt moves over, it's going to really burn the side of it out, isn't it?
Yeah,
Friction.
you see, it's nearly cutting.
Yeah, and it will cut into the steel here.
Yeah,
You wouldn't think that had happened, but it will happen
yeah, yeah.
over time.
Yeah, it's nearly all this end. So, might then Friday evening I bring this in.
I'm going to have to fill that in,
Yeah, put the roundy bar in and
Yeah.
weld.
It back.
Yeah. Because can't leave like this. Be next thing.
Now, what's this side is okay, this side?
Yeah, this side it looks good. You see?
Yeah, and that side is intact there. But this side we have a big gap in here. So that's not going to help, but actually the belt get caught there quicker too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Lucky snow joiner is on the one belt full.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
And the joiner, the gun. Yeah. The get cut on this.
so these belts would have vulcanized them on it. Is that
Yeah.
the way to do it?
Yeah.
Or can you take the side off this? No.
I think, no, not take side. You taking shaft one out.
Yeah.
And then take legs off and feed from one side.
And feed it in
slides.
across it, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
a vulcanized, but you can still put it on after.
Yeah. It's much better job than it's no joiner.
Right.
And joiner be, the gun.
You're on 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it for this week's Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, so from everyone here at Finnegan's Farm, we'll talk to you all next Wednesday.